Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Well, happy Monday. You know what that means, right? It's Motivational Monday. Who's in the house? I see Helen in the house already, and I'm very grateful to have you here, Helen. Thank you so much for joining us, and our friend Jocelyn, of course. How many of you are hot milk 30ing? Throw down your hashtags and say hello. You're not joining late. I'm starting late, Jane. I am starting late. It was quite a morning this morning. Anyway, glad to have you here. Cheers, Mother Hen. I'm glad you're here. Lot of things on the agenda today, and we're going to share some stuff with you. The wind is blowing out there, by the way. Lizzie, I'm glad you're here. Catherine, in the house. Tanya, very good. Off to a good start. Sandy's here, and I didn't even know that. There she is. Hello. Hot Milk 30. There they go. Good to have you here. Anyway, having you here live is always great. It's always a good day, isn't it? It always is a good day. Do you know we are doing some skincare stuff right now? I'm excited about this one. The Deep Moisture. Let's get that off of there. There you go. Deep Moisture Cream. Buy one, get one. What? Yes. If you go to savingdinner.com/BOGO, you're going to you'll be able to load up on this. I know have a lot of people here doing that. Karen, hello. Debbie, nice to have you here as well. There's our Patsy, hot milk 30ing. Bam, she's in it. You've been watching her posts. They're great. I loved your little, I love the self-care things. They were so cute. Always so cute. Okay, so what else do we have today? First of all, well, let's go. Let's start right now with an amazing quote by Alex Sharfin. Alex Sharfin's a friend of mine from way back when, and he said this on Facebook, and I went, cut this out. This is so good. He says, stop making decisions for the person that you are right now and start making decisions for the person you are becoming, and you'll get there faster. Isn't that so true, though? When we start, we don't want to fake it till we make it. We all know that's bogus, but do it, be it till you see it. Yeah, we show up every day as the person that we wish to be, as we want to be. It just makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. Anyway, I'm excited about that. Write that. If you're not writing these quotes out, why not? This is great fodder for your journal. And journaling is just, how important it is. You know how I feel about that. Our optimistic gratitude bullet journal is available again. You can find that at savingdinner.com/grateful. This is a scientific approach to building day by day, week by week, month by month, into an optimistic habit of gratitude. And the reason we put these two things together, because oftentimes people without a gratitude habit don't have a very optimistic outlook on life. So we kill two birds with one stone. That's how this whole thing works. I love this. It's designed beautifully by our Amber, and it's just really helpful. I know a lot of you really enjoy it. So check it out at savingdinner.com/grateful. Also, what else do we have? Don't forget, you know what we've done? Free orders. Jeez. Free shipping. If you spend $300 in the shop, you're going to get free shipping as long as you're in the contiguous 48 states here. We're going to do that for you. You know why? Because you guys have shown us that, we have free shipping. You love those free shipping sales. Well, I want to keep it going for you. And I want to reward people who buy their supplements from us. We're a small operation, a small woman-owned business with a bunch of women working here And we're all doing our best to make sure that you are taken care of. Hey, Chris, it's good to have you here. And Deborah, Jackie, lovely. Nice to have you here. So good to have, look at this, all these lovelies here. Isn't it so fun? Jane's using her beautiful gratitude journal. And the thing that I love about it, and I don't have them here, but there's 2 bookmarks that you put in there. And the bookmark is for your weekly and also for your monthly, so you can track at the same time. And then you have an opportunity, by the way, this is important, to go back and to take an overall look on how you did. You know why it's important? Because when we do that, do you know what happens? We get a serotonin hit. Boom! And that also keeps us going because we're building on a habit. Yes, we do. We have the skin care trio. Yes, we do, Debbie. We have all that stuff. Deep Moisture Cream is on sale. Buy one, get one free. savingdinner.com/BOGO. We have all that stuff. And Nancy took these gratitude journals and she went a step further. She bought a whole slew of them and she's giving them to her granddaughters, which I think is such a beautiful thing to do. We want to cultivate this kind of stuff with our children and with our grandchildren and in our communities, don't we? So beautiful. And she gave colored pencils too. That's so sweet. Excuse me, I have a itchy nose. Have you guys ever had that smoke from Canada? Ugh, it's just really a little bit bad. You did. I'm glad, Lizzie. Hi, Autumn. You use blue and green ink in yours because it matches. Oh, goodness, Jane. How pretty. Sue, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, the next thing that I have to say is something that's going to cause some disappointment. Seatbelts. Margot, hello. And that is this. After a lot of consideration, doing our first sale, if you will, for our get-together in July for Full Bloom in person, and with also a few events coming up, such as my daughter being unavailable, we are canceling Full Bloom in person. And I know that's going to ruffle a few feathers. It's going to disappoint a few people. I know a lot of people have already been disappointed. We're still going to do the virtual, but it put, the place that I'm in, by the way, which, believe me, first of all, I've learned some lessons big time. And I'm very, very sorry. If I could personally go to each one of you and express my disappointment, I would. I will be sending an email out later explaining the whole situation, but we didn't have a good response to Full Bloom, first of all. And we make projections from that and we make decisions about that. It was really going to be hard on poor Jenny, who is going to be traveling and doing a bunch of stuff at that time. My daughter is unavailable, which, sorry, but free labor, and that's like a big puzzle piece. And the other thing is, it is a financial decision, period. I can't afford to do it unless it makes financial sense. So there's that. So my thought was, it's a lot to ask of somebody to do it every single year. But if we had Full Bloom in person every other year, well, we've all got time to plan. And I will put it together. My lesson for me is I didn't have my act together as far as getting it together more ahead of time. I was like, oh yeah, we'll put it together. We'll put it together. And I had all these things going on and Mark has things going on. It's not fair to everybody, is it? And I apologize for that big time. I apologized to that. Nancy, thank you for that. Thank you. She loves me anyway. And I will say this, there was a really good quote, by the way, of Mel Robbins said about disappointment. When you disappoint people, they'll still love you. And I felt like that's my people. They'll still love me. But, we can still be together. And I will tell you, we have such an incredible virtual community, don't we? Of course we do. And I will tell you, we are still going to have an amazing time together. We're going to do it virtually, and that's okay. And it'll be a Saturday. And I love you deeply back, Patsy. Thank you for that. Mhm. Helen. Oh, you guys don't make me cry. I swear. I really struggled with this. You could ask, you could ask anybody on the dream team. It was really hard. Um, but it's where, we sometimes the honesty of, I just have to tell you, you know, uh, this is how we do things. And as much as I would do anything for you, I also have to make it make financial sense. My family depends on that. Jenny's does, Amber's. This is also part of what we do. So today we're going to talk about disappointment because there are lessons for us to learn here. Lessons for you, lessons for me. And one of the things, I hate being in the driver's seat of that disappointment, and I am. It's on me. I take full responsibility for this. I didn't do the things I should have done. I didn't plan far enough in advance. And my not planning far enough in advance messed everybody up, all of y'all. So, you know what, Sue, thank you. You are so sweet. Jackie, love you. Love you all. Sandy, thank you. It's true. It's true. Everything does work out. And I want to tell you that next year is going to be off the chain. So we are going to get a date for you, aren't we, Jenny? Jenny is like, I got plans to make. I got things to do. We're doing this. This is when we're driving. And she's like meticulously planned out. I'm more like, oh, this will work out, blah, 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 blah. I'm like an otter. And she's like methodical, goes through. And it's a good thing, It's a good thing. I know you're disappointed, Lizzie. I know. And I love you so much. And I was so looking forward to meeting you. She will have a date on the calendar for I'm telling you, we're going to have this whole thing worked out. Right? And one of the things that we did last year, and we will do again this year, is we will give you we'll send a document out with all the options of where to stay. And if you book that far in advance, it's really going to be terrific, right? It's a lot. And having it, here, like last year, I was like, oh boy, should I even do this here again? Because at the end, I was completely wiped out, but in a good way, kind of like, I loved on everyone and had the best time with everyone. And it was just the faces and touching everybody. So neat. Sue's going to come hang out in my driveway. Yes, dates are good. So more of you can attend. And we're going to pull that whole thing together. We're going to pull it together, and it's going to be in stone. So let's move on and talk about the show, because I had to, this is my process here. I always ask myself, what can I learn from this disappointment? I always do, because disappointment, what's the word I'm looking for? When you have disappointment and you don't do anything with it, it could turn to bitterness. It could turn to anger. You could be resentment. And I don't think that's wise. Yes, Margot, thank you. And Autumn, you're right. You know what? Who remembers Christmas Club? When I was a kid, we had Christmas Club, and we would put like $5. My mother worked at the National Bank of Whittier, and we had a little account for Christmas Club, and we put $5 a month in or something. And then at the end, we had all this money to spend so we could do Christmas shopping. It was super cool. I loved it. It was the best thing. So why don't you do a little Christmas Club with yourself? Put it aside, $10 a month, $20 a month, $30 a month, whatever. But when you do this, and earmark it for our lovely Full Bloom in person, wouldn't that be cool? I like that idea a lot. Isn't that a good idea, Autumn? That's a great. Yes, she does. She saves a little each month, and it's wise. She has a full bloom account. Nancy has a full bloom account. Do that. Why not? Because here's the thing, we have like Airbnbs here in Conisty Falls, and yeah, they can be pricey, but if you've got like 6 ladies, not pricey. It takes it right down, and you don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about anything, and your transportation, everything's just right here. It's great. It's great. Anyway, that said, don't forget, we will have we will have a page up for the virtual full bloom on July 21st. And I am so looking forward to that, because the gelling of the community, the love of that community is something that's just tasty, isn't it? It's so lovely. Let's talk about disappointment, though, because it's a natural human experience. I'm sure a few of you all have a little disappointment today. Okay, Saturday, July 22nd. You see, Jenny, where would I be without you? July 22nd. Saturday, July 22nd is our virtual full bloom. We will have the page back up for you so that you can go and browse it. It's going to be awesome. I know you'll be there, Jane. I expect my Jane to be there. It'll be lovely. It will be lovely. And we have the best time. And we have some great resources, everything. You'll be bringing it into you from Rochester. Who is that? Amber? Amber's going to be in Rochester? Come on. What are you doing there? You're supposed to be whatever. Alice, good to have you here. I'm so glad you're here. Seriously. So let's talk about disappointment, a natural human experience, and it's uncomfortable. It makes you feel like, yeah, I don't feel good about that. But there's always a lesson if we want to look for a lesson. And there's insights that we can glean if we're willing to dig into disappointment, right? There's insight. So here's what it is. Number 1 is resilience. Did you know that? Isn't that interesting? I'm sorry, my nose is just a little runny today. Disappointment always teaches us to be resilient because life doesn't go as planned. Have you noticed? It's never just easy sailing. Never. I wish. And you know what's so funny about it, though? So oftentimes our expectations is that it's going to be like that. And then inevitably we get disappointed. So I always say, should we plan A, plan B, plan C? So here comes plan B. We've got the virtual, and we can still be together, right? Heart, mind, body, and soul. Pretty much without the body. Your heart is now healed. Oh, my sweet Nancy. That's how this whole thing works. And these kind of setbacks, believe it or not, help us to become stronger and more adaptable. We have to be. We simply have to be, because we're going to find ourselves in a place all the time where someone is going to disappoint you or me or one of us. So do we give that person a break? Do we still love them up? Of course we do. Do we dismiss them and say that, that's just, they're terrible and they're awful? Of course not. But what we can do is that we can look at the situation and decide, this is going to make me stronger. This is going to make me see things in a completely different way. And you all did that right now with me, by the way. You did. You had a lot of empathy for me. I have an emotionally intelligent audience. I'm so glad. What a great community that we have. And it just makes me, it really, boy, heals the heart is the way Nancy said it. It's true. Number 2 is perseverance, because when we face disappointment, we learn that we have to persevere. We have to try again. And we don't let failures or setbacks hold us back from the vibrant life that we want to live, period. It's a decision that we make every single time. And again, those disappointments are going to come trotting on in because it happens. Karen says, what if the disappointment is by a person who sees the glass half full and the disappointment is not valid? Well, there are people who have that kind of a lens. And all I can say is just keep putting the spotlight on the optimistic part and just keep repeating yourself. Sometimes that's a tough one. I don't know, exactly what that's all about. And I think it would depend on the circumstances, but it's a ringer. Number 3 is empathy, because when we experience disappointment, it allows us to empathize with others who are also going through a similar situation. You all empathize with me. You know, there's my lesson right there. There's my lesson. I was really worried. I thought, oh, they're going to turn on me. They're going to hate me. I was really worried. I was sincerely scared a little bit. And here's all this love pouring out from you, because that's who you are. You're vibrant women living a fully bloomed life. And we kind of bounce a little bit, don't we? We kind of move this way and then move that way out of necessity. As we do that, we become more. As we do that, we emotionally, intelligently grow. And I don't know about you, but I want that in my life every single time. We develop compassion, we develop understanding. We see things from not just one perspective, but we see it from all sides. And it helps us to become those vibrant women. Number 4 is perspective. Disappointment shifts our perspective and helps us to see what's truly important in life. Is it important then that we hold something against someone because they disappointed us? Or is it important that we see things from a different perspective? Is it important that we can maybe look at this with a little bit of a reality check, like I did, I had to, and say, whoops, what am I going to do here? How am I going to make this all work? What we can do then, it helps us to reassess what our expectations are. And for me, on my side of it, being super honest, it was a big gamble. Like, let's just go anyway. Let's just hope for the best. And for those 3 days, because it is a big 3-day and it's a whole bunch of days beforehand and all the planning and everything, boy, that was kind of scary. However, I know that when we're together, even virtually, it's almost as good as being together in person. And next year's going to be even sweeter, isn't it? Number 5 is patience. Doesn't disappointment teach us patience? Isn't that so sad? But it really does. It teaches us patience because we don't always get our desired outcome. That's what disappointment is. Our desired outcome is that we don't get what we want. And so we have to understand, sometimes we have to manage those expectations. We do. I have had so many expectations dashed on the rocks, so many. And yet we have to be patient with ourselves, be patient with the growth, and be patient with, sometimes that's not the tell on the entire outcome. It's just the beginning. That's what we need to be looking at. Give it time. Let's see how it all works out. And with patience, in other words, waiting till 2024, it will be July of 2024. I will tell you that much. We'll just get the dates together and that'll help happen. I think it'll be July of 2024, probably July or August, but don't worry, we will have it. But this is how I can handle your expectations for the future better. I can do a better job than I did, can't I? Of course I can. Number 6 is growth. This is an opportunity for personal growth, y'all. For me, for you, for all of us. And it prompts a little introspection. I had to go deep. I had to look at that and just say, you know what? This is my fault. I did this. I messed this whole thing up. I wasn't managing my calendar well, And then when I popped it on Caroline, she's like, I can't do that, Mom. I've got a wedding this weekend. I'm going to be gone, blah, blah, blah. I was like, whoa, okay. Whoops, my bad. So this helps me to understand myself a little bit better and to see the places where I am weak, to see the places where I need strength and I need to gird up and fix, because it's not fair to you. It's not fair to my team. It's not fair to anyone. Here, let me just pop this on you. So it helps to understand ourselves better. It helps us to improve. It helps us to evolve and become all that we can. Number 7 is decision making. It can also help us to reconsider our choices, which is important for our decision making skills. We can think strategically. We can think critically, and we have to. That's what this brings us down to. Okay, so now what do I do? Now what is the next best thing? How can I make this work? What is the right answer to this after this disappointment? So this is how we learn and how we can approach things in a better way. I really am learning this for y'all. Okay, I am. Number 8 is gratitude. And let me say, by experiencing gratitude, we can more profoundly appreciate our successes, can't we? We can also have, not take things for granted and be grateful for what we have. We have each other. We have each other. I mean, think about the quality of this community, the quality of this sisterhood. It is not diminished one little bit by the fact that we can't get together this time. As a matter of fact, it is only going to be sweeter when we get together again. It is. It's only going to be better when we are seen together again in 2024. That much I know for sure. And lastly, facing disappointment moves us to build courage. I'm going to tell you why. Because it teaches us to take risks, to understand that disappointment is a potential outcome, but we do it anyway, right? That's courage. We do it anyway. We never let fear stop us from doing the right thing and for moving forward and to becoming the women that we're meant to be. We're always in the place of becoming. And I look at you, I say you're in the place of becoming better and more beautiful and more fully bloomed. I see vibrant women. That's what I see when I read this chat. I see vibrancy shining out from you. And what a joy it is, what a privilege it is to be in your company. And I mean that sincerely. Disappointment is a stepping stone. It's not a stumbling block. Disappointment happens. I'm disappointed. I know you are. But one thing that I do know with my whole entire heart is that the women who are in my community right here, the women who are part of this sisterhood right here, it doesn't matter if we're together in person or if we're together virtually. Our community will always be vibrant, will always be fully bloomed because the women are. That's what I know for sure. Yes. Oh, Jane, I swear I'm going to cry. Thank you so much for all your kindness, your compassion, your sweetness. I appreciate every single one of you more than I can possibly say. Thank you for listening to all of this blah, 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 my blathering. And there will be an email coming out. And I just have to say I so appreciate you. That's end of the line here. Really appreciate you. Tuesday, Transformational Tip Tuesday, we're going to move on and get into some good, juicy stuff. Thank you so much again for joining me, and peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.